You probably think sugar is the biggest enemy of your kidneys. It isn't. The real danger may be sitting in foods you barely notice because your kidneys are designed to hide the damage until they've already lost much of their function. Imagine pouring clean rainwater into a treatment plant one day, then industrial wastewater every day after that. At first, the filters keep working. Then, little by little, they begin to wear down. Today, we're going to walk through the hidden biology behind the #1 worst category of food for your kidneys, and why the problem isn't just what it contains, but what it forces your kidneys to do every single day. Before we reveal the culprit, you need to understand one remarkable fact. Your kidneys are not passive filters. They are 2 living treatment plants, each containing around 1 million microscopic filtering units called nephrons. Every day, they process roughly 180 liters of fluid, deciding what your body should keep and what it should eliminate. They balance water, regulate minerals, help control blood pressure, activate vitamin D, and remove waste products before they become toxic. Here's the misconception. Most people imagine kidney disease starts when something suddenly damages these organs. Biologically, that's rarely what happens. Kidney damage is usually the result of years of microscopic overload. Your kidneys compensate so well that you may feel completely healthy, while countless nephrons are already working overtime. That's why the earliest stages often produce no warning signs at all. Think of your kidneys as a massive municipal water treatment plant. Every minute, thousands of gallons arrive. If the incoming water is relatively clean, the machinery operates efficiently for decades. But if industrial chemicals, excess salt, and difficult-to-process waste arrive day after day, the system doesn't immediately collapse. The pumps simply work harder. The filters clog faster. Maintenance becomes constant. Eventually, the machinery begins to fail. Mechanism 1. The invisible industrial waste. Many people expect the worst kidney food to be something obviously unhealthy, like candy or cake. Surprisingly, the strongest evidence points toward an entire category instead: ultra-processed foods. These foods include many packaged snacks, processed meats, instant meals, fast food items, packaged baked goods, and numerous convenience products. What makes them different isn't just calories or fat, it's the combination of heavy processing, excessive sodium, and food additives that your kidneys must help regulate. This doesn't mean every packaged food is dangerous or that one meal will harm healthy kidneys. The problem is repetition. When industrial-style ingredients become the foundation of your diet rather than the exception, your kidneys never get a break. Imagine dumping a few buckets of construction debris into a treatment plant once a year. The workers clean it up. Now imagine dumping smaller amounts every single day. Eventually, the machinery spends more time handling debris than performing its primary job. That's what chronic overload looks like. Mechanism 2. The sodium pressure problem. Most people think salt only affects blood pressure. That's only part of the story. Your kidneys constantly regulate how much sodium remains inside your body. When sodium intake climbs far above what your body needs, your kidneys must retain more water to maintain balance. More fluid means greater pressure moving through delicate blood vessels. Picture increasing water pressure inside thousands of tiny garden hoses. They may withstand the pressure for years, but the constant mechanical stress gradually weakens the system. High blood pressure is one of the leading risk factors for chronic kidney disease because those tiny filtering vessels were never designed to operate under excessive pressure indefinitely. Your kidneys become both the regulator and one of the organs most affected by that extra workload. Here's the biological irony. The foods creating the greatest sodium burden often don't taste especially salty. Bread, sauces, frozen meals, processed meats, restaurant meals, and snack foods can collectively contribute far more sodium than the salt shaker sitting on your table. Mechanism 3. The hidden phosphorus trap. Now we arrive at something most people have never heard about. Phosphorus is an essential mineral. Your body needs it for bones, teeth, and cellular function. Naturally occurring phosphorus found in foods behaves differently from phosphorus added during food manufacturing. Many ultra-processed foods contain phosphate additives that improve texture, shelf life, moisture retention, or appearance. According to kidney nutrition guidance from the National Institute of Diabetes and Digestive and Kidney Diseases, these added forms are absorbed much more efficiently than many naturally occurring sources. Imagine receiving 2 deliveries. One arrives neatly packaged and easy to unload. The other requires extra work before you can even move it. Added phosphates are more like the first delivery. They enter your system efficiently, meaning your kidneys must regulate larger amounts. Healthy kidneys can usually manage this balance, but when kidney function begins declining, excessive phosphate becomes much harder to control, creating additional complications. This is one reason healthcare providers often recommend limiting foods rich in phosphate additives for people with chronic kidney disease. Mechanism 4. The illusion of feeling healthy. This is where kidney biology becomes almost deceptive. Your liver can regenerate. Your skin shows visible damage. Your stomach often tells you when something is wrong. Your kidneys remain astonishingly silent. You can lose substantial kidney function before obvious symptoms appear because surviving nephrons increase their workload to compensate for damaged ones. Imagine a factory with 100 workers. If 10 leave, the remaining 90 simply work a little harder. Customers notice nothing. Then 20 leave. Still, production continues. Eventually, half the workforce disappears. Only then does the factory begin missing deadlines. Your kidneys behave in a remarkably similar way. Compensation hides the problem until reserve capacity begins disappearing. That's why relying on symptoms alone is a dangerous strategy. Mechanism 5. Why processed meats deserve special attention. Let's look at one subgroup inside ultra-processed foods. Processed meats often combine several kidney stressors into one package. They commonly contain high sodium levels along with preservatives and other additives designed to improve flavor, color, and shelf stability. Again, this doesn't mean eating a slice occasionally destroys your kidneys. Biology rarely works that way. The issue is accumulation. Breakfast sandwiches, lunch meats, hot dogs, processed sausages, fast food burgers. Each individual meal may seem insignificant. Together, they create a dietary pattern that repeatedly increases the regulatory workload placed on your kidneys. Remember our treatment plant. One truck isn't the problem. Thousands arriving every year become the problem. Mechanism 6. The modern food environment. Here's something worth thinking about. Your kidneys evolved in an environment where food was seasonal, minimally processed, and naturally limited. Today's food industry has engineered products to maximize convenience, shelf life, texture, and flavor. Your biology never evolved for constant exposure to highly processed meals available every hour of every day. This mismatch matters. Your kidneys aren't malfunctioning. They're attempting to solve a modern problem with ancient equipment. The body keeps adapting, until eventually, adaptation reaches its limit. Mechanism 7. What healthy kidneys actually prefer. After hearing all this, some people search for a magical kidney superfood. That's the wrong question. Healthy organs usually thrive not because of one miracle food, but because unnecessary workload stays low. Think about that treatment plant again. The greatest gift isn't a miracle cleaning chemical. It's simply reducing the amount of industrial waste entering the system in the first place. Meals centered around minimally processed foods naturally tend to contain fewer added phosphates, less sodium, and fewer industrial additives than heavily processed alternatives. Instead of asking, "What food repairs my kidneys?" ask a different question. What food makes them work harder than necessary? That's the biological shift. Mechanism 8. Prevention happens quietly. One of the most dangerous myths in health is believing serious disease always announces itself early. Kidney disease often doesn't. That's why prevention looks surprisingly ordinary. Reading ingredient labels, preparing more meals at home, choosing foods closer to their natural form more often than highly processed alternatives, reducing dependence on convenience foods that quietly accumulate sodium and phosphate additives over months and years. None of these decisions feel dramatic. Neither does brushing your teeth. Until you stop. Your kidneys reward consistency far more than perfection. One fast food meal won't determine your future. Neither will one healthy salad. Your body responds to patterns. Patterns become biology. Biology becomes health. As we return to our treatment plant, remember the lesson hiding inside this analogy. The greatest threat wasn't one catastrophic spill. It was the endless stream of small loads arriving every single day. Your kidneys are performing one of the most demanding jobs in your entire body without asking for attention, praise, or even rest. They simply keep filtering, balancing, and protecting you every minute you're alive. The number one worst category of food for your kidneys isn't defined by a single ingredient or one forbidden meal. It's the repeated habit of relying on ultra-processed foods loaded with sodium and phosphate additives that gradually increase the burden these remarkable organs must carry. You may never feel that burden while it's happening. That's exactly what makes it so dangerous. The next time you reach for a packaged convenience meal, don't just think about calories, think about the treatment plant working silently inside you. Every choice either delivers clean water or another truckload of industrial waste. Your kidneys will keep adapting for as long as they can. The question is simple: what kind of workload are you giving them tomorrow?